Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview brought to you by eSignal Charts for Tuesday, the 17th of March, 2015. Hope you're having a good trading week. Market got a bounce on Monday after completing a new 9-bar startup phase back on Thursday to the downside, which gives us a potential minor reversal signal. That's also the culmination of the downward move, the 13 sell signal that we got back in February. That completes the requirement for that move. So that signal is now out of play as far as I'm concerned. But that doesn't mean the market heads right back up from here. It just means we got the one-day bounce off of getting that startup phase. And we still could reach down and touch at least that red static trend line that you see there on the ES. That would be a short-term target. All right, let's look at the cash indices. We did gap up today, so it doesn't show as well on the cash indices, but I'll show it to you on the intraday futures action. Here's a look at the S&P 500 came back above the 10 EMA. Here's a look at the NDX, which did not get back above the 10 EMA. It is right underneath it. Had NDX gained 55 and the S&P gained 27. What's amazing about some of these numbers is that it's still, if you look at the year so far, we're stuck in about a 400-point range on the NDX. You go back and look at the S&P here, we're stuck at about 140-point range. I mean, that's still very minor compared to what we'd see in any 3-month window from last year. So it's not like we've had a lot of activity. Here's the stocks gained back 10 points. Here's the biotechs gained 86 points to a new closing high. VIX retreated to 0.39 after that new 9-bar startup phase completed to the upside there the other day. Crude oil closed at 43.92. Mostly unchanged from where it was the prior session. Gold was up 3, which is minor for that one. That is done with a 9-bar startup phase there as well. And the trend closed at an average of closed at 0.5, which is low, average of 1.22 on the trend. So remember that trend reading that we got, the average, that moving average down at 0.85 in the middle of February, coincided with that 13 sell signal that we got. It's just almost impossible for the market not to roll over a bit when you get both of those. And it took a little while, but we finally got it going. So I'd say that's out of the way for now. NASDAQ volume was weak at only 1.5 billion shares. Almost the lightest day so far in March. Not a great session in terms of volume. Now, we had a great session. We had some really nice winners on the stock side. Let's look first at the ES intraday and 5-minute bars so you can see what happened. Market gapped up pretty good and then kept going, squeezed higher for the first 30 minutes. That's when we made most of our dough, and then just drifted after that upwards. But most of the movement was done in the first 30, and of course a big piece of the net gain for the day is a gap up there, as you'll also see on the NQs. Most of the move was over very early, and it was a gap up. We had a nice winner in Intuit, among others. Here's a look at this. Our entry point was the 98.67 area. That ran early. That was a nice daily chart breakout, and several other winners that we had on the session. So it was a really solid trading day, but most of it very early. And of course, once you get the volume warning after the first hour, you're going for a light close. We only got to 1.5, and that's just not the type of day where you're going to see a lot of money made in the afternoon. So we believe in not over trading here at Tradesight, and that's what we did. Kept it pretty calm and casual for the second part of the session. All right, so what do we have to look forward to on Tuesday? We're starting a 2-day Fed meeting. It is the first day of the meeting tomorrow, so that's not going to tell us anything, but it does kind of slow the market down. We have housing starts and building permits an hour before the bell. That's not a major deal either. So we're basically looking for, I would say, a slow day in general. Hopefully we'll get better volume, and that will cause some movement early, but everybody's going to start to focus on the Fed and their announcement, which will be Wednesday. So that's where we're at this point in time. We've got more economic data coming out later this week, and of course we've got options expiration and therefore a likely triple options expiration unraveling move somewhere in the middle of the week or Thursday. But we'll talk about that more tomorrow night. Have a great trading session. We will be in the lab helping you out as usual if you need it.